This is exactly how to get ungated in Amazon FBA. I know there's a lot of you new sellers out there right now trying to get ungated and struggling with getting ungated whenever it doesn't really have to be this hard. So let me show you guys exactly how I myself have ungated 200 plus brands throughout my Amazon career. Getting ungated in Amazon is one of the most crucial things to your Amazon business because this is where you really set yourself apart from the other sellers in the market. I want to change the mindset on ungating. I want you guys to start looking at ungating like it's a good thing. Now you're probably thinking, Cole, what do you mean ungating is a good thing? I hate ungating. Whenever, yes, it is bad, but it's the exact thing that keeps Amazon online arbitrage from getting saturated. It keeps people leaving this market, which is a great thing for you guys that are serious about making this a full-time income. For those of you that are new here, let's talk about gated and ungated. What's the difference? So whenever you are gated in a product slash brand, you now need approval from Amazon to list this brand. Whenever you are ungated for a brand slash product, you are now eligible to sell that product immediately. Now, one of the questions I get all the time is when is the right time to start going for ungates? Now, there's a common misconception in this market that whenever you hit 200 for account health, which takes you to sell through 200 units, means that a whole bunch of brands and products are just going to open up for you to be eligible to sell. Of course, whenever you hit 204 account health, yeah, it is going to get a tiny bit easier. But don't fall into that misconception of hitting 204 account health. Now this whole world is going to open up and you're going to be a multimillionaire. Now, when you should really start going for ungates is once you push through $1,000 through your storefront. I say $1,000 of revenue just because this is the bare minimum where I've started to see people really get ungated. Now, as a new seller, pushing through $1,000 of sales can seem like a lot, but it's really not. All it is $500 spent on products and those products being sold. I want you guys to put yourselves in Amazon's shoes. They want to make sure that their customers are getting the greatest experience and they're getting legitimate products. So how they do this is pretty much make it harder for those newer sellers that are most likely going to want to push fake products, and they make it to where they can trust their sellers on the platform. So basically what I'm saying here is the more products you can sell through, the more money you can push through your storefront, the more shipments on time, the more no discrepancies with FBA shipments, the better Amazon is going to trust you to ungate you in these bigger brands. One thing I wish I would have done differently in my business was ungating sooner. I really pushed it off and I just kept running auto ungates, which there is plenty of auto ungates for you brand new sellers to be looking at and selling through, but definitely start trying to ungate sooner than later. So now let's hop into actually what does it look like to ungate a product. So now let's hop into what does it actually look like to ungate a product and how does that process work? So let's say right here, this is the product and brand that I wanted to ungate. All I would do was go down here to your alerts panel in SellerAmp and then click the manual ungate button. Now from here, it's going to bring you into a screen that'll say request approval. From here, you will simply click request approval. Then it will take you into another screen right here where it'll be asking for the units. You're going to check all of these boxes, but mainly you're going to be looking for this number right here, okay? The 10 units. You'll see some that say 10 units, 200 units, 100 units, 400 units, and you're always going to want to match that number that they have. You can, of course, order more than that number that they have, but this is the biggest part of this. Match the number that they are requesting for the ungate. Now, where a lot of people go wrong with this is whenever they're ungating, they think they have to ungate using the exact ASIN, that exact product that Amazon is asking for. Amazon is actually just asking for the product's brand. So all you have to do is order the product's brand. At times it could be cheaper to simply ungate with a product that's 99 cents than leveraging yourself and putting all that money on the line with that certain ASIN that you want to buy. Of course, though, most of the time I am just ungating using that direct ASIN that I bought. So once you guys are in here and click all these boxes and fill these boxes out right here like so, this is where it really matters, the select the file, and this is where a lot of people go wrong. So Amazon does accept these receipts and Amazon does accept these invoices like you see here that I provided. Of course, an invoice is always going to be better, but what they don't accept is a paper receipt. So if you guys walk into a Walmart and then go to checkout and take that receipt, they're simply not going to accept a paper receipt. But they do accept those order confirmations you're getting from these companies and those invoices. So basically how we're looking at this Dr. Marty brand, I would take the Dr. Marty invoice and then I would apply it in there. So let me show you how to do that. So once you guys go in there and select the invoice that you will be ungating with, I love to name the invoice properly. In here, in this example, you see that we're doing Dr. Marty. So I do Dr. Marty exactly how it's typed out right up here. I will match that, and then I'll do underscore INV for invoice. And that's all I'll do. I won't put a date. I just leave it at that. Then right after that step, what you're going to do is you're going to plug in your email and your phone number and make sure that's all correct from there. Then once all that's complete, you will hit submit. Once you guys submit your invoice, it could take 15 minutes to 3 days for them to get back to you on your first attempt. Let's say you start getting denied over and over and over. This is where you then go through the case log. So your odds of a real human actually looking at your invoice is much higher through the case log. To simply open up the case log, all you do is after you're declined, you click the case log button here. Then from here, all I like to say is thank you. This is a cheat code. I'm telling you guys, all you say is thank you, period, and then upload your files here and click send. Through the case log, it could take a week to get back to you, 2 weeks to get back to you. But I'm a firm believer in the longer it takes them to get back to you, the better your odds are. With all that being said, that is exactly how I ungate so many brands over and over. But one thing I can highly recommend to you guys is keep applying, keep applying, keep applying. Do not just quit applying after one attempt. There is no penalty for applying over and over and over. Just keep applying. If you're looking for a great community to get involved in, go in the description and join my Discord in there. This Discord is completely free. Join up, connect with me and all the other students in there.